we all know we're going to die. Most of us just never think it's going to be soon enough to matter. And so we wait. We keep building. We keep achieving. We tell ourselves one day we will sit down and tell our story properly. But one day has a habit of never arriving. Welcome to Legacy Talks. I'm Kasia Krawiecka and I'm a legacy architect. This podcast exists because most powerful stories in the world are sitting inside of people who have never been asked the right questions. People who built something real, sacrificed something significant, and transformed in the ways they never have found the words for. Every episode, I sit down with one of those people and we talk properly about what they built, what it taught them, and what they want to leave behind. Today is a very special episode. It is the very first Legacy Talks conversation ever recorded, and I couldn't have asked for a better person to open it. My guest today is Afnan Saqr, a woman who knows what it means to start again, to choose differently, to rebuild not just a career, but an entire way of living and leading. This is her story, and it deserves to be heard. Welcome to Legacy Talks. Afnan, welcome. I'm glad you are here.
Thank you so much.
You are the very first guest on Legacy Talks, and that means a great deal to me. So, genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Now, before we go anywhere, I want to give you space to introduce yourself, not your titles, not your CV, just you. Tell me about yourself. Who is Afnan Saqr?
Yeah. Thank you so much. And I think I cannot go to talk about myself without just mentioning what I'm doing in my professional life. Yeah. So I'm Afnan and I born and raised up in Jordan. If you don't know Jordan, so it's part of Middle East, or it's located in Asia, I would say. So I studied engineering in my undergraduate, and then afterwards I've been working for different software companies, and I juggled so many roles throughout my professional experience because I always feel like there's something else for me, or that something fits me better. And so I started quality engineer, someone who's looking for the problems and defects in any product, and then they raise to the concerned department. Then I moved into more of product management roles, and I was working with small scale companies and large scale companies, like in Adus in Jordan, regional. But after I decided to move to the UK in 2019 to do my master's degree, afterwards I have joined a global pharmaceutical company that you all, I think most of you know it, AstraZeneca. And my role was focused on standardizing the commercial processes, like commercial operational processes. I think I was very much aligned with this role because I like when I set up something that is very structured and can add value to the overall system in the department or the company. So my role is not only standardizing the operation, but also creating automation. And I think we are living now in that era of AI and making our life easier, building efficient and like products with added values. I want to shed the light on my other side of character, who is passionate about social entrepreneurship and building communities that strive, that can like bring positive projects or positive perspectives, and just help to scale that or grow that. And this is, I think, the driver for me that was like started years before like deciding to go to UK for my master's. So I did join lots of programs, and I myself drove some of the initiatives in Jordan to help aspiring youth either to develop their character or their skill set or to be very much ready for the job market. And this is the driver for me to study my master's in innovation and entrepreneurship. Apart from this, I like fashion. I like to learn new things. Currently, I'm learning a lot about AI and creating AI assistants and automation. My hobby is hiking because I like to be in nature. And I think that's one of the reasons that I like to be in the UK and Europe generally, just because of the rich in nature.
I love that. There's already so much in the way you describe yourself. You're a woman who has clearly done a lot of living and a lot of thinking about what living means. Thank you very much for this. I want to start by giving you complete freedom to set the scene. What is the main story or experience you would like to share on today on Legacy Talks?
So first, I would like to thank you, Kasha, for giving the platform. For me, I think when I've seen the post on the community group, and I thought like, yeah, I would like to be on this show. I have never been like a podcast, so that's cool first. And the second thing, I feel like, yeah, I have a lot to share, and maybe that could be positive and inspirational to tell my story about how did I grow, and I became from like a very local community living in Jordan. It's a great country, and people are nice. Food is amazing, but like any other third country, we have challenges, and I always seek the best for me and for my future, and definitely for my future family. From being in a small country or local human to international human being or someone with a global perspective. And I wanted to highlight the transition. How did it impact me? And how did eventually drove me to set up my own business, my own startup.
So let's go deeper in the story. You built something very powerful around being the strong person. You seem to be reliable one, the one people can count on. What's happened in your career that changed the way you see yourself, the way you see your journey? And what was the hardest part of losing the identity you used to have?
Yeah. Um, the thing, I think it was incremental. You start working in tech field, and but you are also passionate about like I call it social entrepreneurship, but it can be like civic engagement, like supporting people, like going to some of the camps. And we have lots of camps for refugees in Jordan. So I think that part of me who like to support people, it was just equal to that part of me who is professional, who want to grow professionally. So, and I grow professionally, really. And I think the first like turning point, when I have been selected, when I had been selected for one of the like global program for empowering women in my region and the neighboring region. It's simply an exchange program in one of the most um, uh, tech uh, like uh, um, tech rich sort of areas, the Silicon Valley, uh, where are lots of high tech places and companies. So I traveled. That was my first time to travel, really. Back in 2015, I was 27 years old when I traveled and joined that program. So it was the first gateway to the global level. And I learned a lot from that experience, and I came back with lots of energy and like perspective and ideas that I wanted to replicate and to apply for my community. And I did that. And I was doing my job role as a manager. So I was at that time leading a team in my company. So I think that it's always about knowing what's really matter, understand what's really matter for you. I mean, while not compromising the other things until you are sure. I mean, everything that I've been doing and building and investing in, it led me to where I am today with that clarity and confidence. But what was the hardest part of losing that identity of being a strong one? That's a nice question, but I feel like it touched a lot on me, and I think I wasn't open enough. And I think now I'm very open, but until I get to the point to be open and transparent or to share my vulnerability, as you know, it took me a while to get there because I was always, I mean, maybe I don't know how to translate in English, maybe in Arabic. Yani, I love that character. I had like, you know, that dual sort of characters that I want to stay strong in front of people and to show that I'm the strongest woman and independent. I do my work, I earn money, I travel, and I take actions on, you know, that feels right to me, but without showing that vulnerable part of me, which I feel it's very important in the same ways. And because I wanted always to be in control, so things in me has really changed. So sometimes you lose yourself just to prove another character, another thing of your own. And then I let go of that, like sense of control. I think I am more approachable nowadays. I ask people for help. I jump into opportunity like this one. When I saw you posting, I thought, wow, that's a brilliant idea that we like many should you know, think of and like do it more, especially for females. We have lots of powerful women and like lots of successful stories that came from that lens, like myself. So it came from hardship or from hard work into stepping into something global, something meaningful, something that I could really look at and take the best, like the things that work with me and with my community and just come back home and apply it. So I think I'm not anymore resentful of the idea of being in control and the strongest one or to prove anything. No, I just want to be natural, authentic, and definitely let people to help me, which I do. I reach out to many people, many successful women in my community. They really try to uplift me with my business, with some opportunity here and there. If I need some help in terms of like accommodation, just one of my friends, she's living abroad, let's say in UK. She's welcoming me anytime.
Okay, that takes a real courage to say, because I think so many women listening right now know exactly what you mean, and they have built the sense of self around being capable of being strong, about being needed. Not very often, especially in business environment, we allow ourselves to be authentic. So thank you very much for sharing this, because that is very powerful. When did you realize being authentic is the way to go forward? What happened?
I think it's not exactly a moment of realization. Rather, it's, as I said, compound. I don't know, like there is a term and even financial like investment and it's like something that keep building up and it compounds. But definitely moving to the UK, it's a turning point and it's a very important era and period of my life. I spent in the UK around 5 years between completing my master's degree and starting one job into another. So I think that changed a lot of my character and perspective. I mean, I worked with literally the smartest people in the room, and I get to know differences like of the other cultures and learning how to accept them, like you know definitely like try to be authentic just to show, because I'm at the end of the day like a role model for my country. This is the way I see it, and I always advise those who I'm working with, like my coaches, my mentees, that you need to like you are the ambassador. right? Like you need to show that you are, when you are abroad, that you want to show that, are a reflection, like you are representing your country, your community. So there were like many moments of realization. And I think the most important one is that when I started to work professionally in the UK, I came to the UK as a result of winning a scholarship, like a fully funded scholarship. I give the credit for that opportunity. And then it gave me that lens, that global lens. First, I built it in the university. My university is quite reputable and like a very strong academically work university. And I learned a lot. That was like the first encounter, the first station when I met with diverse group of classmates and course mates. And that shaped the way I looked at things, even at work. So I think that was like the first transition. And then when I moved as a full professional individual, I think that shaped my professional career more and more. The last role at AstraZeneca, that was transformational. That was like a new industry for me. Um, like working with a global team, working only and solely in English, and everything was remote post COVID. And my team is diverse and from all over the globe. And I think I had so many realization time that keep change my perspective. But something that always resonate with me, that how I can move that experience back into Jordan and support my community. So I have that global perspective, that global experience, and I consider myself someone who's interested in social entrepreneurship, who want to support youth and women in tech probably more. So I wanted to leverage that global experience into a local impact. So I wanted to be the bridge. And I think that's, continue to shape or to grow, and the idea became clearer and clearer, that what I want to do, because I've done before that, before even starting my own startup, I was doing that as a hobby, as a passion, supporting the mentoring international students from different regions, from different countries, to secure um, like a full tuition or full fund scholarships to study abroad in the UK mainly.
What was the most challenging supporting and empowering other women, and how did it change you? Who did you have to become yourself in order to be able to support others?
The hardest thing is to understand where I am capable, what are my capabilities, or what are my competencies that I could employ to support women. So I needed to have that alignment to create something meaningful for them. In my country, if I want to speak about Jordanian women and more specifically founders, currently we have lots of successful women founders. They started locally and they grow globally. But earlier, I think starting a business as a woman was difficult. And when we think about business, we rely on our emotion and how we want to move forward, and without having a clear direction, which I call it a framework, a structure. So I think the challenge first was, when I want to deal with them, is that lack of visibility, both sides. I know there are like lots of successful women and they have that internal motivation. They are motivated. They want to create something, maybe, but they lack the structure or the strategy. And I myself, I was there, just trying to share things around what they want to do, but I never had the right questions for them. Even when I earlier, in 2017, I had the pleasure also to join another leadership program with the King's, like Charles, currently, like one of his organizations. And then after we came back, the next year, we were required to be the mentors, to be the role models for the next cohort. And I was matched with a woman, and I think we were in the same professional level, So it was really hard to understand how to work with her really, or to direct her, because like we are equally in a professional perspective. So what I relied on at that time is not really professional like perspective or consultation. It's rather the character. I consider myself courageous, adventurous, someone who like to explore. And she actually been in the UK before, so I thought, okay, that's a great common space, common area. Like at the end of the day, we needed to build her startup, like the wireframe or something, a prototype that she can show at the end of the program. So I thought, okay, we have an alignment, understanding the UK culture, the background, and she wanted to create something empowering the human resources sector in Jordan because of her perspective. And because I have the tech background, so I thought, okay, there were like alignment with understanding the culture, and also we have differences in the focus area, and that all came together nicely because she have that perspective, the practical part of it, and I have the technical part of it. Then we had to build something meaningful.
So how can you find a meaningful alignment with another person when you know they're from different culture and they have different agenda? How do you do it? How do you find that alignment with another person?
That's a nice question. I want to be clear that intentions are really important when you work with someone with different culture, because you want to ensure that you both need to respect each one's background and to accept the other person for who they are, and try to move away from judgment and criticism. And then you can find ground which can you both work on, because you will focus on something that you both passionate about. And that was like always when I was trying to approach people from different background, I see the common stuff like between you and me. Take that simple example. You want to empower women through podcast and sharing their successful stories, and I wanted really to create something that leave a positive impact, and people will remember me with that and say that, yeah, that's make me feel really positive or happy to hear about this woman. So I accepted those persons or people for who they are, and came with a good intention, and always allow for openness. We need to be open, and I think that's really important even in relationships. Everyone comes with their own backgrounds and different ideas or perceptions, and you cannot really change that. But when you accept this and you show the good person you are and be the good example, then automatically that person, if they like you or if they believe in you, they will follow. They will do exactly the same. Just be open. Acceptance is important. And then have one common area or goal or competency that you both can grow to create something impactful and meaningful professionally, personally, for community. Yeah.
That's amazing because many people think that doing project is about money, purely for money. But when we know that someone has a story and someone is seen as a whole, that changes everything. So thank you very much for sharing this because that is going to inspire many, many people. During your time in England, when you went abroad for the first time, what was your greatest challenge? Not just outside, but inside yourself.
Well, yeah, away from the weather thing, but it was eventually the weather has very positive, like lasting impact because you develop that immune system. I mean, I hope that you will come and visit Jordan and Amman. The weather is quite nice, and it's, yeah, I would say it's like moderate, like, kind of weather, and warmer than the UK. The challenges is that, like, for me, traveling was not an issue. I like traveling. And maybe if I want to go back to the first question about Afnan, I really like traveling. I really like exploring places. And this year, I want to focus more on my area, like my region in Middle East, because things are changing around, and I want to just see how other culture that is not far away from my culture, how they really do things and how they are living. But when you live for a long time and you are focused on your development, your growth, you discover a lot about yourself. I think if we want to be specific about the challenge is that um, how we raised, and this is again culturally, that we are very much dependent on our families. We live with family for long period. I don't. I mean, before I didn't live with. Yeah, I haven't leave my family to live alone. Um, when I was young, adult. So you are much dependent on them, not financially, because financial independence is something that everyone like try to grow in their kids, in their children, and it's a very smart approach, really. And I learned that early on. From after university, I worked on myself and I earned money. I was self sustaining, but the other things around managing the house, doing things on my own. I think I lost a lot of weight during my time in UK, just because of just I want to learn new things and time management. You think you are a project manager by nature, but then I realized that I was not perfecting that skill. But then, yeah, it became easier.
If you come across some kind of obstruction or struggle, what keeps you moving forward when it's easy to stop, but you keep going? What process do you go through to say, no, I'm back, let's do this?
Yeah, that's really brilliant question. And I am positive person. I have that positive outlook. Small things can make me back to track quickly. I mean, keep motivating myself. First of all, I mean, I can create my own motivation. And this is really what helped me to successfully like launch my own business. And I want to quickly now say about what I'm doing for my business. It's basically creating or empowering youth and talented international students who pursue master's education in Europe, and it started in the UK, and then now I'm working across different scholarships in Europe through a fully funded scholarship. What I'm offering as a consultant and education consultant is first that I definitely guide the process of application and writing. I developed my own strategy and framework that like help them to articulate their essays or their application and in a successful way that make him very much successful in the process of getting selected for the scholarship. And it happened last year. I supported number of applicants, 50%. Let's say my cohort were 8 candidates from different part of the world, and 50% they are now scholars in the UK. They are doing the master's degree. So that was like amazing for me, and it gave me that push to continue. I mean, those small successes, and again, it's compound. That's the term that I like to use. It keep compounding. So every time I do something that give me that result, not financially. I mean, financial is quite important as much as non-materialistic, like sort of successes. So, and because I've done that, I felt like, yeah, okay, I have potential to inspire those people, to work with them, and then I need to continue what I'm doing. Okay, let's grow that. Let's to build a structure around that. And I built a structure. I had built a system from getting the applicants' interest, guiding them through the process, giving them one-to-one personalized coaching according to their background and their aspiration, career aspiration, and course selection. If they have any question post the selection, they will come back to me about even the English. And let's say, and I found my story about English is quite inspirational because I wasn't that fluent. I didn't know all the answers in English or terminologies that now help me to be more coherent, to speak in a very clear and confident way. So I teach them my way. So I found that another angle of my business. If they want to pass the language proficiency test, I give them some tips. So I don't design an IELTS course for them. I give them always the recipe for how to improve. And I always do that from my like I think my competencies and learnings, and definitely I like to see other people's successes and I look at them. I always keep developing and focusing on myself and my own success to keep moving. So I want to be positive. Challenges are out there, they are known, and this is my philosophy. Something that is not within my control, I just don't focus on it. I focus on the things within my control, and then I plan the risks. As a project manager, I know what are the possibilities, what are the like the direction, and planning the risk on the other side. So things will be fine.
Your strategy is amazing because it's a different way of measuring uh, different way of measuring success and empowering other people. And if you see other people succeeding because of the advice you gave them, and it's not only ticking box exercise, that is a legacy. How did you come up with this?
I have matrix. I learned how to set the successful matrix. For example, when it comes to my scholarship path, this is the name of my startup, and I want to make sure that I am working with the right candidates. So I have matrix in terms of, even before now, I don't like jump into a one-to-one call with the candidate before I score them. So I have that automated like sort of system where they put their answers and then I score their commitment. I just measure how ready they are. If they are ready, and my other criteria for those who I want to work with them, they need to be, they should, not should, but I would appreciate if they have that part of giving back to community. I want to measure that they want take this opportunity as an investment for their career, for their personal and professional character, and then this is has to come back with the positive consequences on their communities and where they came from. They have to create something um, to pay forward for their community. So I measure that, and I can know that candidate uh, has that good intention to do something. Yeah, 99% of the time they want to do something because they show that they are leaders. I mean, I call them emerging leader. They have the potential leadership, but they need that to be like more and a little bit of work, and definitely with moving abroad like myself, I walked that path. So definitely setting the right metrics, not something very calculated, and go with your with the intuition, how with how it feel with you when you talk to people. I think we are grown up enough now to understand the other people and see if they really fit and they want to do something or they are not. And that's just simply move away from those who don't want to change for any reason.
Absolutely, especially in our culture in United Kingdom, I feel that we underestimate the power of community. We are connected to each other, and having, as you said, you gain something and then you pass it forward there, so the goodness can be multiplied. There is another question I'd like to ask you, and I really like this question because many people think that we always look for big dramatic changes, but I think that lightning and inspiring others can be just a moment, and really real transitions in people start not on big stages but in much quieter places. Afnan, what was the first small thing that started to shift in you within your career? What was the first tiny decision or moment when you felt that you are changing and that you're making an impact for other people?
Coming from conservative background and the quiet place, as you just described, if you want to do something, you feel like you need to push harder and you work hard to deserve it, right? For me, I was most of the time looking at things that I have to have like that character of just pushing and forcing things to my interest. I keep the first time with my family, they were coming from again from this background. You don't think that that support element is there at the beginning, and you need to keep pushing and insisting. But I felt like afterwards it's just flowing. Things started to flow because I'm not pushing anymore. I'm just using my feminine leadership, and doors started to open because I'm very calm, and um, um, I believe in myself. After all, I came to trust my own decisions, which are basically built on um, um, again a clear strategy. I have that clarity, where I'm heading, what I'm doing, and where to stop. I don't try to overcome things, or because I was resentful. Now I am flowing. So it's that transition. Then things started to open up automatically because the right people will come, even emotionally and on personal level or professional. They started to ask me how we can help you. At the beginning, I was just reaching out. Now things are, we think that you are the right person to lead this, and we believe in your mission. We can see your excitement. That's the thing that I always hear when I work on something. And because of that, and because of your energy, we want to work with you. We want you. So that has opened door for me. And again, I built that background. I'm eager to learn new things, personally, on the personal level and professional level. I like to develop some skills that I haven't thought that I would have them. For example, knitting. I started recently to do small things because I really like the way how it make you calm and just relaxed at some point and just focused. And I think that helped my mood to be more balanced. When you especially starting a business, there are lots of um, pressure. There's like that sort of random ideas, and you want to do this and that. And then I say, Afnan, stop, just take a breath, do something you like, and it will get resolved by its own. So that's really my sort of strategy, like not
Lovely.
resentful anymore, accepting.
I think someone who's listening to our conversation now may look for the version of the first shift. What would you say to the person who listens to us about how to find it?
I think this is something I always keep doing myself, and then I advise, not professionally. I think I reached to the point where I am mature and grown up to the point that I can really advise people. I don't like generally to advise people. It's a hard job. Um, the important thing is that you understand your values and you create an alignment with your values. If you know your values, because many people, they don't really know what they want in life or how to to be on the same page with the things that is most meaningful for them. Again, because I have values, it helped me a lot to do things that turned to be very positive in my time during working at AstraZeneca in Cambridge. And I am like anyone from different culture who want to practice their religion or to find things that is really adaptable for their lifestyle, again without imposing on the company or something. But I have created that community from people who shares the same values as me. And because I had the community support, we started to ask for things to be changed in the workspace or workplace. And because we approached that thing, with a structure and with the right people, we got those facilitated. We got that realized in terms of prior spaces, some of the food to be halal, for example. So because I know that this is something resonate with me and with other people. But the other people, they didn't know. I mean, I've been the leader again. I know that there are people that are struggle to communicate their needs, and there's someone has to step up and take that action. And I was that person, and we were very successful to grow that community. They love it. They have started to do activities. I left that community, unfortunately, and then I went to Germany. But I thrive for building communities.
So this is my last question for you, and I decided I'm going to ask every guest the same final question. Know that we all are going to die. Most of us don't think about it. And when you're gone and all the noise of daily life has settled, what do you want to remain? Not the achievements, not the organization, not the titles. You, Afnan, as a woman, as a human being, as someone who lived the life you wanted, what is your legacy?
I never been prepared for what's coming next or what I need to leave. So that's I was even rehearsing some answers, and I feel like I want to be again. I want to grow and create that global business. The bridge, I say, this is a very important like milestone, and I see value of what I'm doing, supporting other, and make them to see and feel how saw and felt in my own journey, like that global perspective, that career growth. And I need to be remembered as a kind person who fought for her dreams. And I think I am a fighter. So I think also personally, and I want to achieve that personal goal of building my own family and having my own kids who will carry that message forward. That will be incredible. Yeah.
Thank you. That was beautiful, and that is exactly why Legacy Talks exists, because the deserves to be heard, and now it will be. What strikes me the most about Afnan is this. Here's a woman who builds her entire identity around being around community, around being authentic, around being the one people rely on, but the one who never breaks. Instead of fighting, instead of controlling it, she listened. She rebuilt not just her career as a completely new relationship with herself. She stopped measuring her value, but what she produced, and started measuring it by whether her life was true. And now she's building something for others, opening doors where that were once closed to her, creating the opportunities she had to find. And that is not just her career, that is the legacy in making. If you heard yourself in any part of this conversation today, I want you to know your story matters too. And if you have been telling yourself that one day you will sit down and tell it properly, please do not wait. One day has a habit of never arriving. This is Legacy Talks. I'm Kasia Krawiecka. Until next time, leave something that lasts.